thank you. 108 to 114. The booth is still recording, so please, if you are 108 to 114, please make sure you're downstairs, and then when you're done recording, you can come back up. Thank you.
For the inconvenience of me not giving a
Stuck in your head, stepping on next, see the red underneath. Louis Vuitton red,
Relax, man. Hey, damn.
Sorry, Switch, I get excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's give it up for none other than Pretty Ugly.
I know, thank you, my chance.
All right, hey, this guy's supposed to take over. Yes. What up, everybody? Give yourselves a round of applause. It's been a crazy day today. Shout out for coming through. I go by the name of DJ Switch. If you don't know, now you know, suckers. All right, we're gonna get into just a quick workshop. You know, I know Ricardo for many years.
Too long.
Like when you see the Timberlands he's wearing now, these ones are strong ones. This guy breaks Timberlands when he's performing. Because when he was a crumble was like, remember?
Yeah, no, we used to go back in, man. I've been doing this thing a long time. I met Switch. I was a hip hop dancer. I was dancing for Freeze Frame at the time.
Whoa.
This is, I don't know, dog, like over 15 years ago.
Yo.
Yeah.
Any dancers here? Any dancers? Not booty dancers. I'm like, you know, like real dancers. All right, yo, man, we're gonna get into some, I think, questions that a lot of people want to know. And I mean, we said when you called me, when you just dropped Egypt, when you just about to sign, and you
2016, so 10 years ago.
And you called me and they're like, yo, I need to pick your brain. And I was like, yo. In actual fact, that time, yourself and Costa called me. Yeah. R.I.P. to Costa, you know? So, I mean, you know, and I think, you know, we know a lot about your story, but how did you get into rap?
Jeez, man, I gotta take it back to high school. This is like late 2000s. So in between, I don't know timelines exactly, but let's say in between 2006 and 2010. That's when I was in high school. I'm a hot man, me. Yeah, what?
Hot man. Hey, that chat.
Yeah, but at that time, man, like 8 Mile was the thing. You know, 8 Mile dance movies, you got served, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I just went into the school. The school was called Norcom Park High. And I got into that school, and like one of the guys that was like a rapper back then, that was like dope at school. There was many rappers, but like one of the guys that stood out was Big Star Johnson.
Hey. East Trend, come on now, you know?
Yeah, East Trend. Yeah, Big Star was like, you know, he was already a popular rapper from his primary school. Wow. So I'm getting to like high school and like Big Star's beatboxing, he's freestyling at breaks. I'm like, yo man, this guy's such a cool guy, you know what I'm saying? And I just so happened to be in classes with Big Star. And at the time I started attending like Christian youth with him. So at Christian youth we used to have like these open mics. And one of the maybe matrix had called me up in one of the open mics there and was like, yo man, you look like a rapper. I had cornrows even back then, you know? It's like, you look like a rapper, dog. You know, they were calling me Snoop. He's like, yo, Snoop, pull up, you know? And I didn't know how to rap at all. But I listened to like a lot of hip hop. I listened to Snoop Dogg. I listened to like Thug's Mansion by Tupac was one of my favorite songs at the time, right? Wow. And they called me up to come and spit a verse. And I went up there and I spit a Tupac verse. But it was a song that most people didn't know. So everyone just thought, it was my verse, you know what I mean? So ever since that day, people were like, yo, dog, you know? Yo, and back in the day, like in the East Rand coming up, like we referred to everything that was dope as ugly. So every time I rapped, you know, it was just like our thing in our school. Like when dudes rapped, it's like, yo, that's ugly, you know? Sure. And it just became a thing where like people were like, yo, ugly, come spit, you know?
Crazy.
So then I was pressurized, you know, Big Star had actually sat with me and he's like, yo, it wasn't really Big Star, it was a bigger homie of Big Star's. And I was like, yo man, those verses you've been spitting, man, I know those verses, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, just
Of course.
start writing your own. Like, you know, I think you could do this. You know what I mean? And Big Star was one of the guys that like almost like ushered me into it. And we started a Christian rap group back then. You know?
Yo, I also started a Christian rap group. We called ourselves the GOD Squad. What you guys call
We
yourself?
were Narrow Gate. Yeah. Come on, Narrow
I
Gate,
don't know, man.
brother. Let's go.
Yo, we
You know
were
what I mean?
GOD Squad, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, bro, and we just started doing like Christian raps, and at that time, you know, this is in grade 8, I met Frank Casino as well. You know, we were in high school together. Touchline, we're in the same high school as well.
Right.
And Frank Casino was one of the homies growing up, like, who had YouTube. I didn't have a PC, and you know, I just had DSTV and that was it, you know? So he put me on to like battle rap, the big, you know, the Notorious B.I.G. album, everything, dog. Any rapper you could think about, like Frank Casino actually like put me onto that. Like Frank is a very cultured rapper. People don't know because like he makes trap music, so people think like he can't actually rap, but Frank can really spit. And his hip hop knowledge is crazy, you know? So he put me onto that shit, and like that was, I don't know what, 2006.
Yeah.
And I've been rapping.
Yo,
since.
don't say that. You might be old. You might be rapping something. Most of these guys are chill. Their whole lives.
So I've been doing this 20 years, bro. You know, like 20
Trust.
years. And fast forward, bro, you know, so we started a little rap group, Big Star Johnson. I moved from the Christian rap stuff, started rapping with Frank Casino and them, and we somehow got onto Yo TV's Big Breakfast, right? Yeah, and while we were there, we were just there to do like a little performance or whatever, and there was a guy named Vusi Lu who was there. So Vusi Liao is the same guy who discovered Mendoza. He managed, discovered Toya DeLazy. He managed Mr. Salvin. So he just so happened to be there at the time, and he saw us, and he's like, yo, man, I like you kids, you know? My name is Vusi Lu. He introduced himself, and he's like, yo, man, like, I'm an A&R, and I think you guys are special. I think we should take it seriously. And then the next day, he reached out to our parents. We had a meeting with him. Bear in mind, I'm 14 at the time. And he signed us on the spot. So I'd been signed to, at the time it was EMI, which was a subsidiary of, which now Universal, I guess. Yeah, but it got absorbed like long ago, you know what I'm saying? But like EMI back then had like guys like WHP, Hip Hop Anzola, Abu Mendoza, you know, a lot of the legends at the time. Ammunition. There was a producer at the time who produced for Proverb. Damn, I forgot his name. Stethoscope. You know, guys like Stethoscope. And yeah, man, and ever since then, man, I've been like attending like rap battle events. I'll be like a 15-year-old traveling to Durban, bro, to go battle rap. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I met guys like Maraza, who was like a battle MC back then. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, like I've been like a product and am still a product of artist development. You know, I've been developing as an artist for the last 20 years, and I'm still developing, I'm still learning. There's still a lot of stuff I don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So, I mean, just, you know, on that, like, how important is it for, you know, for artists to, you know, partake in events like a Red Bull 64 bars? I mean, there's many of them, and, you know, it delivers growth, but, you know, here we're seeing a whole lot. There's different styles coming. But how important was it for you? Like you said, you traveled to Durban. So why is that important for, you know, for artists to partake?
Yo, man, I think it's very important because, like, as nice as you think you are not the nicest nigga. You know what I'm saying? In every city, every block, every hood, there's a nicer nigga. And even in other spaces, there's nicer niggas than that nigga. But like, if you just stayed in your own space, in your own hood, you think you guys are the nicest, like, my dog, you're gonna catch an L. And that's like, that's what we were doing as youngins, you know? We were leaving the East Rand, coming out here to Bram to come see the guys doing their things, you know what I'm saying? We'd travel to Pretoria, Menlyn, and see the Blood Spillers. And at the time, Blood Spillers, if you guys know Black Layers, Invade, they used to be part of a group called the Anvils. Yeah, and they were the OGs rapping then, and I'll be pulling up there and seeing them rap. I'm like, oh damn, I thought I was nice, okay, cool. And that would make me go shop in my pen, like, damn, I gotta go harder, you know what I'm saying? And because that scale, like, niggas were expecting a verse every single day, I had to write every single day, you know what I'm saying? And I write verses on verses on verses, you know, and like, we freestyling for like 4 hours at a time, but because people don't know my verses, it just sounds like I'm freestyling. But like, I think that's the edge that like, we had as opposed to the people who are on the come up right now, because like, we're in an era now where dudes punch in. So you're not really writing as much. You know, you freestyling or whatever. Hence why dudes get onto radio stations and platforms and like they just can't rap. They don't got verses to rap. I can relate to that because I'm like that now. Because like I used to write all the time. Now I'm only writing when I'm making a song. So back in the day, I had like 100 verses in my head all the time. But now I'm a dad. I have other shit that I gotta be focused on. You know, so it's like, I'll be honest, like rap really does catch like a backseat. You know, and I might spend like 5% of my time now actually writing raps. In fact, I'm doing more writing for other people than I'm doing for myself. You know what I'm saying? So, but like platforms like this, you know, help dudes just stay on their toes. You know what I'm saying? It's like I remember attending the Red Bull 64 last year where dudes were auditioning in Cape Town.
Yeah.
I wasn't even part of that thing. I wasn't even supposed to be rapping. You know what I'm saying? But I'm seeing so many artists get there, choke and like not have verses, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna get onto this thing, get in the booth and record a verse. Just to prove to guys like how ready you need to be. Like I wasn't prepared, like everyone else was in the queue there, but we still delivered, you know, just to let dudes know that like dog, even when you're at the top or on your ascension, like you need to stay labbing, you need to stay practicing, you need to stay wanting to improve, you know, at all times, you know what I mean? And I think platforms like this, man, are like so important because like there's a lot of dudes who are here today who are going to be the next future stars, like 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, maybe 15 years from now. I'm saying I've been doing this 20 years and I'm still not where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it could take 20 years, my niggas. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't love this shit enough, because there's no money in this shit, there's no real money in this shit, unless you're able to diversify, be a brand. Like I'm making most of my money from brand deals, you know? It's like, yo, Jaka's sitting on 10 million streams right now. I haven't seen a cent from that. I have not seen 1 cent from that. And if you guys want to equate like what streams are, like 30 million, a million streams is like 30,000 rand. Let's just do the math easily. 30,000 rand for a million streams, right? Jaka has 4 artists on it. Myself, Maklera Dope Boy, Mash Beats, Her Cut the Lights. So already that 30K, I'm splitting it by 4. Meaning I'm getting 7,500 rand from that 1 million streams, right? And that 7,500 rand, if I have a manager and if I have a label, I still need to split that 20% to the manager, 50% to the label. So from my 1 million streams, maybe I'm getting 2,000 rand. You understand? So it's like, if you're not streaming like Drake, you're not gonna be making money from this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you won't make money. I'm saying it takes a lot to make money. You know what I'm saying? So I need 10 more Jakas. And you know what I'm saying? And songs of that nature. So it's like, don't be hot now, I have a hot 16 or a hot song and you think you made it. And that's one thing I've been seeing with a lot of young cats. You know, because like now we're living in like the TikTok era. Right. Guys are blowing up quickly and they think they've made it. And then they start acting fresh. And then, you know, they're not taking DJ Switch's calls. And they're not taking Priddy's. They're not responding to dudes anymore, you know what I'm saying? And then the hype of your song dies out in a month. And then what? You know what I'm saying? So
I think, you know, on that point, with Njaka, from what I know, is that you were very meticulous. So you recorded that 15 times over, right?
Maybe even more than that.
And, you know, people say like, you know, and like you said, you know, you're calling DJ Switch and now you think you're the hottest-ish now. And then tomorrow you suck, because that's what happens, right? And you say like, yo, Switch, or Priddy, I can make you money. Let's make music together. And I say, no, bro, it doesn't work like that. Now, how do you develop a style? Because your style is quite different to everybody. It's raw, it's offbeat. You know, it's not like, oh, we're just trapping out here, you know, the whole time. You know, because everyone's gonna whoo, whoo, whoo the whole time and think they Migos now. But your style is very different. You know, you stick to the vernac, bring it back. You bring it back to a lot to your roots. So you mix it like 3 ways. And a lot of people don't want it. They want to schling, schlibbly, schling, you know? Bring out that English that don't play.
I mean, dog, like with me, like I said, this is 20 years of development, you know what I'm saying? And ultimately, like what contributes to your writing is your actual life. And the reason why like a lot of dudes suck is because you're not rapping your actual life. You know, I'm hearing like, I've been in studio with like a lot of guys, man, a lot of guys. And I'm hearing them spit about like, yo, I got money like this, and I'm getting pictures like this, and I'll be around these boys and I'm buying them food for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is this money talk you're talking about in your raps? All these Hans that you're talking about, dog, I've been with you the last 3 days, dog. I ain't seen no Hans around you, you know what I'm saying? So what's this thing in your music about like, and I get it, the rap bravado is like, I can take your girl, I can, you know, it's like, okay, man, all right, my dog.
We heard all
Okay,
that
cool,
downstairs
yeah.
already.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just like being like authentic to yourself, you know what I mean? Telling your story. Look, I can use myself as an example, but like, I'll use just somebody else, just so I'm not speaking about myself too much. Like if you guys look at guys like Maglera Doughboy, you listen to him, one verse, you already know where he's from. You know the lingo of the people where he's from, the slangs, if he, you know, like he refers to jewelry as mukwebo. So if he says mukwebo, you already know machita bako vale, bako kronstade, bako Clarksdorp, that's how they speak. You already know where he's from, you know? So he's representing where he's from in the fashion, in the style, and it's on every single record, you know? It's not just him, there's a lot of people who do that as well, you know? But I be finding other artists, established artists as well, where like you're chilling with the guy, he's speaking Setswana the whole way. But when he's on a song, all you're hearing is English raps. So it's just like, yo man, this is, hey, I didn't mention any words. I didn't mention any names, you know what I mean? But it's just like, yeah, so it's like, I do feel like there's like a big disconnect. For me, it's just like, I rap about what I have. And it's taken a while for me to acquire nice things for me to rap about, you know? Let's take this new Zulu Maker verse that I just did, you know?
7 colors.
I'm like 18 karat chrome on the teeth. And I'm only saying that because I've got 18 carats of chrome on my teeth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna rap about it if I don't have it. You should see what I did to the beamer, because if you see me, if you go outside, what are you gonna see? You're gonna see the beamer. You know what I'm saying?
Low-key flexing now.
But that's not even trying to stunt. It's like I'm just talking about like,
Sure.
what I experienced. If I'm speaking about, yo, my cousin is in jail or whatever, it's because my nigga, I have 7+ cousins that are in the jail system right now. You know what I'm saying? I be visiting fucking Sun City, excuse my language, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying to glorify like gangsterism or criminality or whatever, but these are the realities of like what we're growing up around in our surroundings, you know? I saw someone, my nickname, talking about like, they did like a write-up on Njaka and they were like, yo man, this guy is glorifying gangsterism, you know? And it's just like, that's crazy for me because like, I'm not rapping on that song talking about how cool it is to be gangster. I'm talking about what is happening in South Africa. We live in a country that has one of the highest murder rates per capita in the world. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like 3 blocks from here, we chilling here enjoying this show, someone could be getting robbed right now. Someone's getting killed. Someone, God forbid, is getting raped. It happens in this country. So it's just like, if we're not highlighting, I feel like an artist's responsibility is to reflect the times, to speak on his surroundings and what is happening in and around him. You right? And that's what I speak about. So like a lot of guys are out here like, and I get it, you know, because in South Africa we come from like a lot of trauma. We come from apartheid, we come from racial divide, we come from political divide, we come from financial divide as well, you know? So like, because we come from so much trauma and so much heartache and pain, we just want to have a good time. Nobody want to hear your like struggle raps and your poverty raps or whatever. That's why piano is such a big thing. Like, we are a big dance culture. Like, that's why alcohol is so heavily abused in our country, because people are stressed and depressed. So like, you know, we bury our problems in the bottle. I'm the type of rapper who's gonna address those issues. I'm gonna address the racial divide. I'm gonna address the domestic abuse. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up around that, and this is not to like, I'm not even trying to put my parents on the spot, but I grew up in a household where my parents were physically fighting every other day. My father was in the military. My dad went into exile when he was 19 years old. Yo, here's another story, right? So I was born in Angola, raised in Soweto, bred in the East Rand where there's thugs in the ghetto, right? And the reason why I mention that is that I see some banter online, and I don't take anything too seriously. You know, like they try and make it seem like dog like he's not even South African. Like how is he gonna tell us about being South African? I'm like more South African than most niggas. I speak Afrikaans, I speak Sesotho, I speak Setswana. I got my Zulu homies, I got homies in Eersterus, in Noordgesig. You know, like it's like the culture is heavily prevalent because I've lived in all spaces. When I first moved into South Africa, we lived in Hillbrow, you know? And my father is South African, my mother is Angolan. The reason why my father was in Angola is because he left the country to go fight in the liberation struggle, fighting for our country and our rights. He went into Angola where he was stationed. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is not to make it sound political and stuff, but like he was welcomed in Angola where he received military training, where they fed him, where they treated him as a brother. And like we treat a lot of people who come into our country who seek the same refuge like they're not our brothers and they're not welcomed here, which I don't like at all, you know what I'm saying? Because like I was raised by a lot of people that are not of South African descent in South Africa who protected me against South African people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm just saying that to say that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us here, like, if you look at your family heritage and family tree, a lot of dudes are not directly from South Africa in lineage. You might find that you have bloodline in Congo. You might find that you have bloodline in Rwanda, Zimbabwe. And us as the SADC people, we are all the same people. You know what I'm saying? And I think as African people, we're people. Anyway, I'm just mentioning that to say that, like, so that's how I so happen to be born in Angola. But you're gonna listen to my raps and hear them. You're gonna hear some Portuguese because they'll fala Portuguese. You're gonna hear some Setswana because I can speak Setswana. You know, my grandmother can Motswana. My grandfather can Mosotho. My father is half colored, half Sotho. My mother is half Brazilian, half Angolan. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's like a lot of culture here. And you're gonna hear that in the rap. So I think that's where the style comes from. And like when Switch is speaking about, like, you know, sometimes, you know, like I do this thing of like rapping off beat or whatever. It's like Jay-Z does it a lot. It's actually like finding a pocket. So like some people will rap to the drum, right? Like I'll be like, that's typical. Maybe a lot of people are gonna do that. Like I'll be rapping to the snare, or to the hi-hat. Or I'm rapping to the low end instead. I'm not catching what, so it's like, if you're listening to the drums, it sounds like I'm rapping off beat. But if you're listening to the hi-hats, I'm very much on time. If you go study and look at time signatures, it's like, yo, this guy's rapping, get 4-4-4. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've always wanted to find ways to like sound different from the next guy. Because like, I've never liked like, oh man, this guy sounds like, and it's cool, like we all have influences. Like I had a lot of influences coming up. I listened to a lot of Cassidy, I listened to a lot of Jay-Z, I listened to Snoop Dogg, I listened to Ludacris, I listened to Eminem, I listened to a lot, you know? And obviously like when you're coming up, like you might sound a little more like the artist that you're listening to most at the time, you know? There's a lot of dudes who sound like Drake, right? And that's fine, it's like, but once you develop the formula that Drake uses, then find a way to make it your own. Where like now, it's like, yes, maybe you might still be influenced by Drake, but when I hear you, I don't hear Drake. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, anyway, that was a long answer for like a simple question.
All right, so, yeah, you know, trust me, making my job easy. Just an announcement, 114, 118, 119, please go downstairs. 114, 118, 119, go downstairs if you're still here. All right, so when you wrote your 64 bars, Herc was on the production, right?
Yeah, Herc on production.
What was the process? I mean, when you got the call and they were like, "Yo, we want you to do 64 bars." What is the process? Because I mean, we've had Sir Below, we've had Tabo Timmy, right? Sir Below is actually here today, and we have our new winner who's now Tabo Timmy. I mean, for him, it's been life changing. What was like your, and it's all gonna be now, it's all new now because 4 artists get to go on the EP with the new hottest producers, which is Her Cut the Lights and Shani J, right? Shani J, as I told you guys, signed to YGen, and heard Cut the Lights has been working a lot with Pretty as well. So when you started writing 464 bars, what was like going through it? I mean, obviously you know there's certain styles or whatever, but now it's because it's for number one, it's for a brand, right? So you can't go too deep. You know, I can't be speaking about North Coast, you can't be speaking about gangsters. You know, you've got to tone it down a little bit, but make it brand friendly. What goes through your mind at that point?
I think that's really why I miss a Red Bull so much, because like they didn't box me at all. You know, it's like I don't like doing it. Like if you guys listen to it, especially like a lot of my more recent projects, like I avoid cussing at all, you know, in my lyrics, you know, and that's also stemmed from like having a child. And I had a daughter who likes my music now and wants to listen to particular songs, and sometimes I'll be listening to a jam and I'm saying something that like and she'll be like, yo daddy, what were you saying? What does it mean when you said that? And I'm like, dad. You know, so I'm like, damn, like my social responsibility needs to like change a little bit. So like you'll find a lot less, not even a lot less, like almost no cussing at all in my verses. But anyway, that's just to say that when I did the Red Bull freestyle, it's like I never got told that like, dog, you said an F word here, like take it off. Or you mentioned something about like, you know, it's like, it's 64 bars, so I don't remember every single line, but like there's somewhere there where I addressed like, you know, black people and oppression, you know? And I wasn't told by the brand that like, nah, this one is, you know, because we have white people that are behind the doors here and there's other people, so like, don't mention that. No, they really let me have the creative freedom. But basically when it came to it, you know, shout out to my guy, Trono had spoken to me and reached out to me and told me that he was starting this platform. And in my head, how I just saw this is like, okay, cool, 64 bars, that's 4 16s for me. And it's like, that's easy. But I'm like, how do we make it like a little different? So when I linked up with Herc, I was like, yo, bro, basically, I want to put 4 16 bar verses on this song. But for every 16 bars, I want the beat to change. Right?
Wow.
So my version of the Red Bull 64 bars is actually called the Fantastic Four. If you go and check it on streaming platforms, it's called Fantastic Four.
In actual fact, we got it. Yeah, so we're gonna play it, right?
That's fine.
So then you can break it down a little bit more afterwards. And then, Brennan!
If we could play 16 bars for 16 bars or 4 bars for 4 bars, that'll be fine.
I think you can just tell them where to stop if you feel like
sure.
it's important to explain.
Yeah, but basically, guys, like, yeah, man, it was just like, I was like, yo, 16 bars. For the first 16 bars, I want the beat to change. After that 16 bars, I want the beat to change again. The third 16 change. The last 16 is drill. And each element of the beat, I want it different, you know what I mean? After 64 bars, the pen against speed, give up 64 you know, really cool, how I did it so calm. Rappers on my tongue. Can't lose their heads, and I can always do with more heads. But any more men. When they find you leave that old man, what I don't need, they just lose the metaphors, man. You rap saying all that. When you sorry, my raps bring it to a rap. And I don't gotta say like that. You know? You think you in your rap bag, that's cool, I adore that. I'm sorry to the nigga for that. You can bite my arm, but on your body, think you're back. More slaps and we sure to make the floor pass.
That's cut.
That's the first 16, right? And the first 16 for me was
give
just like...
him some. Come on now.
I wrote this thing 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I don't remember the verse like that. But the first 16 bars was just like an introduction. It's just like, okay, it's 16 bars. It's like, yo, Red Bull asked for 64 bars to pin against me. These rappers need 60 more arms. You know, so it's just like, what I wanted to do was just like straight off the back, like just like be aggressive, let niggas know that like, yo, dog, like, when it comes to this rap shit, you know what I'm saying? It was just me being arrogant in my rap shit, just like, you know, it was an introduction. And then the next 16 bars is like a completely different, I won't say completely different, it's still rap bravado. The whole 64 bars is like rap bravado, like, yo, trying to prove why I feel like I'm the best rapper out here, the best rapper spitting the 16 bars, but it's like, I wanted to give moments. It needed to have like a mixture of similes, metaphors, punchlines. I know that sounds so typical, oh, rap stuff, oh, metaphors, punchlines. No, but it needed to have that, but at the same time, it needed to have a message. For me, like the number one thing for me specifically is the message and the story. Because like we can all rap. We can all rap, dog. A lot of dudes can rap. But it's not about like you rapping. It's like, what are you saying when you're rapping? Who are you impacting when you rap? For me, like, obviously when I did this, like, and when I started making music, I was just making music because like, man, I thought I was nicer than everybody. That just was the reason, you know? But along doing it, it's like I'm talking about stories relating like a suicide in my family or whatever, and I find somebody else who comes to me, who meets me in the street, and they're just like, yo, Khurmane, like, yo, that verse that you spat on this song means so much to me because my younger brother killed himself and I was feeling suicidal after that. But after listening to you, like, it changed my perspective. And it's like, damn, like, I wasn't even thinking about that guy when I made that music. But like, if your music is not gonna be out here to change people's lives, people are not gonna be like, yo, Faithful, like, yo, dog, you spat some shit that made me think like differently. This is my DJ, his name is DJ So Nice, right? Shout out to DJ So Nice. And the reason why I bring up DJ So Nice, my first booking ever, this is 2000 and, I don't remember, 2000, it wasn't my first booking ever, but like, it was the first time someone who, because before that I'm just performing for free. Wherever I can get a platform, I'm just going out there to perform. He was the first nigga who reached out to me and he wanted to book me, you know? And he booked me for a house party in the East Rand, you know? He was the first guy I'd seen who had like a twerk competition, girls battling each other, twerking. This was this guy, right? In the crump era. But the reason why I bring him up, you know, one of our first conversations that we had, he was just like, yo, bro, your music, dog, your music just makes me feel confident, dog. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but like when I listen to your music, dog, I just feel like, I just feel fresh, dog. You know what I'm saying? At the time I had a song called Swag Demonstration. And he's like, yeah, dog, I just put that thing on. Like, I call him DJ So Nice, the coolest DJ in Africa. Because he was just like, dog, that shit just makes me feel like so cool. It's like, oh, damn, that's so crazy. And then I get bump into somebody else who's like, yo, dog, your music inspires me because like, yo, I have, you know, I have cousins or my father who's in the prison reform system. And like when we listen to you, you know, he actually told me to listen to your music. From jail, my father said, yo, do you know Antwana called Pretty Ugly? Yeah, my man, you know, it's like, yo, dad, my dad put me onto your music and my dad is in jail. It's like, damn, I never thought about shit like that when I was making music. Like I said, I just wanted to make the nicest shit possible. But anyway, so that was just like, first 16 bars, just an introduction, you know, and then I was like, after this 16 bars, change the beat.
1, 2.
Yeah, cool, yeah. So if we continue the thing, maybe doesn't matter, dog. It doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah. But just like breaking it down, was just like, yo, it's 16 bars. It's maths, quick maths. 64 divided by 4 is 16. You know, so just put some 16s. You can even divide even further. If I wanted to, I could have said like, yo, for every 8 bars, I want something different. And I write in patterns. You know, so like my rhyme scheme, when I think about it, like I like rhyming for the longest time possible. Because like a lot of dudes will take a rhyme and rhyme for like 2 bars or 4 bars. I'm like, man, I want to do this for 32. Rhyme the same word for 32 bars, one way, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think the perfect example of that is like a song like, I don't know, Rap Relay with my Clara, you know? How does that start? Do you guys know the first verse? What's the first verse of the first line of Rap Relay? I just want to use it as an example quickly. It's a marathon, but if you're trying to race, just know I'm tuned better. I never stayed in my lane, I learned to move clever, never lose ever. Few errors move together. Like a saying had a twin, I am too hella. And then you can go back like 16 bars down that to 32 bars down that, and I'm like, who dressed there? That suit texture is bootlegger. My Hugh Fresher, more Hugh Hefner. You more like Cruella. King number one's Bruce Jenner. This new era, you can assume a new gender, 2-stepper. But what I'm saying is that I rhyme the same rhyme pattern for a whole I don't know how many bars is on that thing. I don't know, 32 bars or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just like to do that kind of stuff. You know, I think J. Cole and Drake also did it on a song. Drake has a project called Scary Hours 3, and they have a song where him and J. Cole go back. I forgot the name of the song, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
I think, you know, with that, you know, a lot of artists don't understand like rhyme schemes, you know, patterns and all that. They just know one thing is just to rap monotone and don't know how to, you know, to create the cadence. You know, and I think a lot of people don't know how to create cadence. So, you know, like, I'll be telling guys like, bro, you guys are reading ABC rap. So you're going like A, B, C, D, F, G, and then, you know, and you can hear it come through the song where the artist is just reading the words. There's no emotion, there's no personality. When I was with Rouge in Studio One, she said, I need to bring a persona. You gotta create that alter ego of that person and not just be you for that 3 minutes. You know, you gotta be that other person, you know, so if you wanna, I'm not saying you must be pretty ugly now, speak about stuff that you don't know about. Don't speak about jail if you've never been there. Don't speak about, you know, your uncle that's been in jail that's never been to jail. Speak about things that's in your life, and that's what, you know, Pretty's saying right here. So, you know, like you got a lot of personality, you got cadence, you know. So when you go into like an Afrikaans verse, you can hear like, nah, that man is now speaking Afrikaans or Sesotho or Zulu, whatever the case to be. You know what I mean?
100%, man. So it's like, and also on top of spitting rap bars, it's just like tone, guys, is so important. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of niggas who I think are nice, like you rap nice, but you don't sound nice. Like you don't have a nice voice. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't know how to play with your voice. You so like, I will go from, you know, in the mood, which is more, man, I'm in a mood, feeling good, and I wish nigga woo, to like, who dressed there, that suit texture is bootlegger. You know, it's like, you gotta, I think Kendrick is like a very nice like example of that. Like, you know, if he, like, on one song, like, he'll rap like he's a drunk person. And, like, you'd hear it in his tone, like, he sounds drunk. Or on this particular song, he sounds like he's gonna cry. Like, I have a song that I did with, like, a guy named Junior King, rest his soul. You know, he was very involved with, like, everything that Red Bull was doing on the dance front, at least, you know? And it's like, but even when I'm rapping that verse, it's just like, it's not just about me rapping Afrikaans and then just rapping in Afrikaans, but it's just like code switch as well. Even like even the accent changes, you know, like the verse, ek sê come to my kasi, polisie rook skunk by die stasie, might roll a blunt to my auntie, but then your old south, then your old son sell copies and hulle vat jou trans in die parkie, pop a south dance in die plasie. Geez, don't dance at a party. If you got a gun, then you lucky. Really, you can't for a darkie. And a white Afrikaans call me Api. And then it moves straight to English. Yes, bro, been this fresh from the get-go. Knit so dripping every day is the dress code. The best clothes from the east to the west coast. Living ghetto in the streets since a wet toe. But what I'm saying is that like, those are two different accents. You know what I'm saying? And then if I'm coming through and I'm rapping in Setswana, the accent and the tone and the voice is gonna change as well. Maklera has been a really nice example of that. You know, he can move from, I think maybe his verse on KO's, what's that song? Yeah, let me cook. Is that, you know, he starts the verse off like on with a very, you know, soft tone, a pretty ugly-esque tone or whatever, and then he moves to the put my haters on GNT, then no PMP. But you know what I'm saying? It's like that actually makes you more interesting to listen to, you know, unlike if you're just sticking to one style. So it's like, yeah, guys, man, like be versatile, like treat this thing like as an art form. Like for me, like the best example I can use, like when I'm playing different characters on a song, is like I try to treat each song like I was an actor playing an acting role. You know, Denzel Washington, he could be like, he can play the bad cop on one film. The tone is different, the swag is different, even the walk is different, you know what I'm saying? And then in the next movie, he's fighting for his son who needs a heart transplant. It's a completely different person. And then in the next movie, he's Malcolm X, which is a completely different person. So for me, I like to treat each and every single song like as an opportunity to play a different type of character. That's why, like, even when I did, like, it's one of my least favorite songs, personally. It's one of my least favorite. But like there's pockets that I go to in South Africa where like that's the song they want to hear me perform. Like I was in Kawa in my Ning, and it's just like I had my whole set planned out with my DJ, and guys when they were like, yo, we want Taylor, and I was like, damn, I didn't even. I'm like, damn, that song. But like that song, like if you go look at the video, I'm as Kotane in that video. It's just like it was an opportunity for me to play a different character. It's like no, for me to like sell this Taylor thing that I'm doing. It's like I don't even drink liquor, but like there I'm saying Fanta te, Handa te. But even outside of that, like even when I'm saying that thing, I'm trying to act like my voice is burnt and like I've been drinking, you know. Nyogo ayakena kay pataladi ranta fe no rata horpe sarpankaske. You know what I'm saying? It's just like play around with it. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't work for everybody. Like this might be some things that I do that people don't like me for. It's like I've heard a lot of people say like, yo man, I hate Kendrick Lamar when he does that alien rap shit and he changes his voice and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like ultimately you're not also gonna impress everybody. Not everybody's gonna like you guys. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're a good person, a bad person, a good rapper, a bad rapper. It's just like you're not gonna be for everybody, and like be fine with that. Find your tribe, find your market, cater to those people, try expand on that market, you know what I'm saying? But like don't be worried about people who are saying you're whack. I go onto Twitter every day and niggas are telling me I'm whack. Or niggas are telling me I'm broke or what, or like whatever. And it's just like, if you believe what people are saying about you, then you become that. But it's like, I can tell you this, and this is removing money from it or whatever. It's like, I'm like the richest person I know. Like, on the highest level. And when I say rich, I mean like, I'm talking about quality of life, being able to actually actively wake up and do what the fuck I want to do every single day. I decide what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I dedicate my life around my children, my family, whatever. So it's like a lot of times that guys can't reach me. I can't do an interview because I'm like, no, I'm not available that day. I gotta take my daughter to tennis practice. And I gotta take her to tennis practice. I don't wanna organize someone else to do it. I can if I want to, but I want to be there. I want to be present. You know what I'm saying? I think also through her, I'm fulfilling like some traumas that I had gone through. Maybe my time I wasn't around for most of the shit that I did. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I ended up in bad situations a lot of the time. So it's like, I never want my daughter to feel like, yo, a nigga can just pull up on her and just like splurge money on her and that impresses her. For her, she's gonna be like, oh, dog, my dad does that for me every single day, dog. There ain't nothing special that you doing for me. You know what I'm saying? But that's also gotta be in the music as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so it's like the story's gotta be real. I got a song called Broken Home. It's like, Daddy took a fixed loan to fix a broken home. His fists made it through pits you couldn't cope alone. I don't know the lyrics, but anyway, right. It's like, but if I write so much, Jensen. Like, I write a lot. There's a lot of verses. So remembering my verses is like my biggest trauma right now. Like, I struggle to remember my verses.
So we're gonna finish off the 64 bars because man's is spreading out here. Let's give it up for Pretty Ugly right now. He's giving you everything, and I think you guys are gonna take the notes because he's really just spreading everything that he's living. He's living like his hip hop life, right? You guys can see it in real time. So we're gonna go through the rest of it, right? So let's just hit play then.
A poor woman. Walk, ain't never think, what crime, so forced, maybe not home. Gotta close that door back at the beginning of your eye. We only have way getting this home and we could even man free.
Deposit there. Right, and that was the next 16 bars. If you guys paid attention, the beat it sounds different to the first 16 bars, and even the topics that I'm speaking about. I'm saying like, yo, it's not true that we come from a poor past. Our DNA is our ancestors' war path. Ain't been the same since Paul Walker's Porsche crashed, but of course I need more sports in my Porsche hatch. You know, so I'm just talking about like, yo, because that was real for me. It's like, I grew up watching Fast and the Furious. If you guys follow me, like, I'm a big car guy. I like car culture. So for me, watching Fast and the Furious and seeing Paul Walker pass away in my favorite car, as well, I was like, damn, dog. It's like, shit, man, this life is nothing is guaranteed, but for it. So every opportunity and every platform and every moment, make it count. You could be Paul Walker on like the biggest franchise in the world, you know what I'm saying? And you can die right in the car that you love. So it's just like, hey man, yeah, so that's what I'm just addressing things like that, you know. I'm also just addressing us as a black people, that also saying that like poverty is a real thing. I'm not taking away from it. But I also realize that also a lot of poverty is a state of mind. So there's a way in which certain people from a particular type of background think. You know, and it's like, that's how I use my own family as a reference. Like, I got cousins who come from the hood. And it's like, sometimes when I link up with them and I listen to the stuff they talk about, I'm like, damn, dog. That's why my Chita is still here, Mokas. You know what I'm saying? And all they're doing is just like hating on the next man. Loyo, yasitshela loyo. Usipho bheka manje sekadrive golf manje. Police. It's like, so you guys are hating on that nigga because he just bought a golf and he's not coming to chill with you guys on the street corners no more. It's like, man, dog, that's some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Call is real, man.
So I address that kind of shit in the songs. You know, we can move on to the next 16 bars. I'm not addressing every line for line. I mean, you guys are rappers.
Yeah,
you guys can
we're
hear
also gonna rap
the
this,
lines. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You gotta perform.
Man, I just wanted to get to the last 16 where it goes into the drill part. Can we just fast forward it quickly? They just thought that. You know, so I'm like 25th, couldn't get my daughter gifts because rack's late. I'm actually waiting for money to come in from a brand deal that I'm doing. And it's like they told me that I have the money by the 16th of December. 25 December hits, I haven't received my money yet. And I'm feeling depressed because like I wasn't actually able to get my daughter gifts on Christmas. And that's what I'm addressing. I'm addressing on this song, you know? So it's like, when I'm saying like, speak your truth, it's like, it might sound embarrassing, but it's just like, it's real. And sometimes I started doing this thing because rap was my outlet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't journal shit. My pops couldn't afford therapy for our trauma and that kind of shit, you know? So writing music was like my escape. And when I put that on record, ain't nobody who's ever come to me and been like, when you weren't able to afford, you know, gifts for your daughter on the 25th. In fact, I've had guys who come up to me like, yo, dog, that shit that you said there is our daily lives. You know how many fathers are out here not able to get their children like gifts on the 25th? Or how many deadbeat dads there are out there? And it's not because they don't want to be there. They just physically, financially cannot be there for their child. And the mother's just making it too difficult. They're like, whenever if you want to come see my daughter, you need to give us the 10,000 rand because you weren't able to pay us for the last however long. And it's like, this and then I'm saying like, I'm thinking how to tax evade. God wants you stressed, but God wants you blessed, and all that stress is man-made. I'm literally thinking, and that time I'm like, yo, I'm trying to evade my taxes just so I could, you know, like make a little extra money. It's like, and this is maybe too much information. Maybe too much. I shouldn't be sharing this, but sure. It's like, my nigga, I've had to pay, not once, I've had to pay like 270 rand in provisional tax. You know what I'm saying? 270,000 rand in provisional tax. I'm looking at like money coming in from a brand deal or whatever, and like some brand deals that have come in, and like from that money, 270,000 rand needs to go into my tax account. And this is provisional tax. This is tax that you're paying for the future so that you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? My accountant is saying, hey, Fetu, we're a bit late the last couple of years. I'm thinking just for us to be a little ahead of time so that when the next bag comes, 270K needs to come in. I'm looking at myself thinking like, I only have I'll say it loosely, it's a rough figure. I only have 280,000 rand. You telling me 270,000 rand needs to come out of my tax account? Meaning I'm left with 10,000 rand, and then I gotta figure the rest of the shit out. But I'm putting it on the song, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We can move on. Right. It's going into the last switch up. Just listen to it.
Don't you know the Bible started in the blind man? It's the blind man, in the running, in the blind, the best rap channel we can have. Now niggas thinking they the top of the press. They was on our walls, all when it was a middle team. When the cameo, numbers on the board, and the board and the pen. It was a board. You know, that nothing on the best, they're gonna be honest. Yeah.
Anyway, the last 4 bars it's drill, so even the verse, even the flow had to change. You know what I'm saying? You know. But anyway, guys, I don't have to break it down. You guys are rappers. You can hear what I'm rapping about.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Pretty Ugly one more time. We're gonna go into some performances. We're gonna bring up our latest winner, well, from 2025, all the way from the VAR. Let's give it up for Tabo Timmy. And then we're gonna have Pretty perform after that. Let's give it up for Pretty Ugly one more time for sharing the information. Thank you so much, my guy. All right, so we're gonna have Tabo Timmy. He took 64 bars last year, right here actually in Brum. One take, took it away from everybody with mash beats. The guys from the Val, where you at? Is there only now a few of y'all? Come on, let's make some noise for Tabo Timmy.
And when I talk, bafethu otherwise le mnandi bafethu. Ke Tabo Timmy ka lebitso ke tswa Zone Talk Sebokeng 016 ka Raslao ka pontse ke re. Ash. Tell it was straight, bomb grab ya basuel. Nna ke tswa bala no fika son khomeko kenya fosta na ke bona no wa hlole. Oh man, hey, ke matali ya ka flow tsa Italia. Mfana ka sibona mona tshula one shodia. Haktore tsa go lebeke scoria. E mona bolia. Ai. Tota ke tsa shopo ka di method. Ha ona le plan, no khale pokol. Khale go shota re vere mo kot. No wa di fela ja bobo wa hloga sa fele tsa hlol. Ende go wa. Ai. Umpatla fisha ke ema walwana no tjena o pitha ka bona wa poster man I said that's like a ghoster man I don't go on sober minded have ground live close their brackets no feel like I never was at more shwari ba bangata se ba shule ke tsa obituary klalo sa diba mana selelane ha o khona hale mfano chemical no batla madi and that Madiba, and take a father when I how cut out hold out straight out to the ball on Timo. Captain when I give us the way canter. 7 years to pick your go, but it's a measure had enough pomolo. The pillar quality no matter quality, the BTK handle it well in your body. Lanaga flow back again as a Golaga schema in Jabo Dole, but Jabo go fella and swallow. I get a cow, Gaga slow, Star and I never change. Chakana Baventa, Honara enter, Uncle Moss, Kamaki Kenta, Kiriki Enka, Uzili Center, Spachukabo, Timo out in man, just Kabalakan, Nakadima Bandana, Kadudi Kanda, Koluklo Flora for a second bump, Pane Basama Bakina Babam, Stubuki Sakara, Lintrop, Boski the Kata, Hutilo, myself, can't take it into myself. I told you, must go to cheese, must stretch the budget. How when the store was 50, they got pallet. I'm born, then I got you take it back. Munzo was the born like a spawn. I got tap, but I make a spot and I fish. I keep back as a yellow hood, Billy Man Shock. Never got told as a corner, be strong. Beba Rene, Timuri saw, what got in the floor, but fell like a short, and I suppose so motivated. Keep it up, and we're going this boy on the map. Slide. If you feeling me, just say I'm gonna share. I think I'm gonna ball, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna ball. I'm gonna ball. I'm gonna ball. I'm gonna talk. Jimmy, you know This one my favorite tune, it is your after party. It's available on all streaming platforms. Sure, yeah. Tere cheat, tere pot, tere meeting. Daddy Paola, the shallow milk outie. Bana di madin, tere full face location. Meet trend after party. Tere cheat, tere pot, tere meeting. Daddy Paola, the shallow milk outie. Bana di madin, tere full face location. Meet trend after party. I just have to make you more truly down here. But I got to me like I got to Pagam. And I better get it and don't never better. When you just take us out, you like that one. Maybe tell us what I make it from us. I got more. So this is a stone. Get it down. Get up and just kill it in white pay. But I just don't get to the guy on the street talk. But the next time, don't make a fuck. That's all I got it. And don't let my guy change your guy for me. Nobody didn't put in the booty. Life is pretty, I saw it. You know, my God, I can't never get it. Cheat to the boat, I met you. Daddy Paul, I shall make OT. But I want to give my jeans on the full face location. Mid trend of the party. Cheat to the boat, I met you. Daddy Paul, I shall make OT. But I want to give my jeans on the full face location. Past tense, I try to the future tense. Rock Panama stage, but push a fence. Keep a tenor on, give me never shake the chance. Never fit to